Now let us come to stanza number 3. Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children? And were they ever bad? Here, the child wonders by asking if his teachers are also surrounded by people. Means, do they live in joint family? Such kind of question comes to his mind. In second line, he says, have they mums and dads? Means, he thinks that whether his teachers was also having parents at their home. In next line, he says, and were they ever children and were they ever bad? Here the word bad, it means naughty. So here the child poet thinks that whether his teachers, when they were the children, doing mischievous activities just like him. Now stanza number 4. Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinch the chocolate flakes? Now here he compares himself with his teachers when they were the children. He thinks imaginatively about their childhood. He thinks that whether his teachers were also the errorless figures. Hence he said that how his teachers were when they were the children. Now he wants to know if they also made mistakes or were even punished in the corner when they were stealing chocolate, cakes pieces or doing any silly or naughty activity. Here he thinks about the kind of punishment that the teachers were receiving when they were the children. So, in these two stanzas, we come to know that he thinks about his teacher as the children. See now stanza number 5. Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? Hymn. This is the word new to you, and its meaning is religious or devotional books. Leave their greens. This is the phrase. You know that when you were going to school, your parents provide you the tiffin. In that tiffin, you mostly find green and leafy vegetables. You were bothered to eat it. Half uneaten, you bring it to your home and your parents were scolding to you. Similar is the fact what the child thinks about his teachers when they were the children. So the analysis of this stanza is the tender mind of the child is also bothered to know if, if his teachers were also ever lost their religious books and said no to green vegetables. Did they also waste time by scribbling on tables and wear torn and old jeans? So here he thinks about his teacher as children, and were they also losing the books, leaving their green and leafy vegetables half uneaten, scribbling on benches and wearing old and dirty jeans? Now let's come to stanza 6. I will follow one back home today. I will find out what they do. Then I will put it in a poem that they can read to you. Here, follow means chasing someone, following someone unnoticingly. Here, the poet thinks a teacher as a mysterious figure. He wants to know the answer. So, just like the spy, he wants to go to his home and he wants to know the answers to all his questions. So, to overcome his curiosity, the child decides to follow, just like a spy, to his teacher when they were going to home. Once he is clear about everything, Means what kind of activities the teacher was doing at his home. He would also like to compose a poem in which he describes all these things and that becomes interesting for other students to read. So here we study the interesting poem called as Where Do All the Teachers Go? We have finished the context. Now we will see the poetic beauty of this poem. Dear students, the poem becomes more interesting and more readable due to its music and rhythm. This music and rhythm is added by various poetic devices, and rhyming scheme or rhyming words are one of them. So here, to make it more clear, I would like to state you that what is rhyme? Rhyme means the similar utterance of the sound in pair of words is known as rhyme. If you see here, the different color words in this stanza, clock and socks, k sound is similar and its utterance is repeated in second line and fourth line. That means clock, k, clock, socks. So this is the rhyming pair. Now the poem becomes more rhythmic due to the follow-up of rhyming pairs in the stanza. So what is rhyme scheme? This is important to study. Rhyme scheme means the follow-up pattern of rhyming words in a particular stanza is known as rhyme scheme. Here I have taken one of the stanzas in front of you. The stanza is just like this. Where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? So whenever you are there to draw the rhyme scheme, underline the ending words of each line. I have done it. The ending word of first line go, clock, houses, socks. Now first ending word go. I treated this word as A. Now I compare it with second line's ending word clock. Go, clock, perfectly dissimilar. So I treated it as a B sound, a different sound. Then I come to line number 3 and I compare it with the sound of A. That means go, houses. It's not similar. Then I compare it with clock. Clock, houses. It's not similar. So I mention it as a new sound and label it as C. Then I come to the last verse, socks. Now here I compare it with go, socks, not similar. Then I compare it with clock, socks. I found the similarity of k sound in this pair and hence I mention it as a repetition of B sound. So the rhyme scheme of this stanza is AB, CB. So whenever you are doing the rhyme scheme, follow this pattern. I would like to suggest you that draw the rhyming scheme of remaining stanza and mention it in your homework notebook. Guys, what we learn from this poem? Here we find that the poet speaks about his teacher and has been curious to know about his life. The poem explores the imaginative capacities of the child. He visualizes the various possible routine practices of teacher's daily life. He compares himself with teacher and thinks whether his teacher is also an ordinary child like him. Moreover, the child trusts on his abilities to compose the text and would like to read it in front of the class. So I hope you have enjoyed the poem. Thanks a lot for staying with me.